Okay, we're live. Yeah, I don't like to do the mic test thing. I think it's cringe. The works better. Yeah, believe it or not, this is not me being late. It's YouTube. I don't know what they're doing on the back end. I don't know what's going on, but everything is laggy. I've been trying for 30 minutes to set up a stream, and then I tried for 30 extra minutes to go live. So hopefully it's not going to be laggy or anything. I understand they're implementing new things. One of the things they're implementing is trying to add community notes to videos like we see on X. I think it's going to be bad. I do not think that they're going to do it just like on X, because like Elon Musk is allowing them to flourish, and you kind of know that they're not tinkering with the system. But there is no way, there is absolutely no way that Disney and Joe Biden is going to get community noted. I don't think they will allow it. And if only some people get community noted and not others, then it kind of defeats the point. Like if people assume there's a bias in the community notes lose the magic. So yeah, coconut tackle. Wow, I missed you. I don't have bad taste. I will talk about the Boys, which unironically was a great show, and you can tell if a show is good or not objectively based on the fact if they're memes. Like if something has memes, it means that people actually are willing to take time out of their lives, go into Photoshop and make a meme. So you can tell that, well, okay, it's got some level of success. Meanwhile, shows that aren't great or they're forgettable, they don't get memes. So even if they have like 90% Rotten Tomatoes rating, I'm like, okay, well, where's the memes? I think it was a great show for one season. The first season was absolutely amazing. And it used to make fun of the superhero trope. Like in the first season, you have like these unaccountable demigods that do whatever they want, and the little guy suffers, so you kind of root for the underdog. And what I really liked in the first season was that they treated wokeness for what it is. Like VOT was sponsoring left-leaning corporations, they were sponsoring like rainbow capitalism, and they were also sponsoring right-wingers. Like there are superheroes that are right-wing and they're also sponsored by VOT. So basically it tried to show the illusion of choice. Like in America, the establishment, right, whether you're right-wing or left-wing, it's still the same. It was more like populism versus elitism, I guess. And you can be like populist on the left and right, and you can be elitist on the left and right, and that's what the season 1 showed. Now, literally, the actor comes out and says that, yeah, it's about MAGA. Yeah, it's about MAGA. And I'm like, what? How is this about MAGA? Like, just so you know, I will describe to you an episode from the latest season, and you guys can tell me if it's cringe or not. Right? So just close your eyes and imagine, because I can't play it due to copyright reasons. But there's this guy which enters a pizza store, and he wants to see if there are kids being held in the basement, because you read online that there are kids held in the basement. And when the guy that operates the pizza store says that they have no basement, the guy unhinged pulls out a gun and starts threatening people. That is in the last season of The Boys. On what scale of cringe would you rate that? Where 0 is actually awesome and not cringe at all, and 10 is super mega cringe. Incredibly cringe. It's so cringe that even the cringe itself cringes. It's very subtle, isn't it? Incredibly solid. Yeah, it does sound like a Blue State thing. That's yeah. Let me see, what else do we have? Because they went for a hat trick this time. Okay, there's this character called Frenchie. And Frenchie is for like the last seasons, he's obviously romantically involved with the female of the species, right? So the female of the species is hold on, let me see if I can find The Boys, the female. I think it's like Unico or Kukiko or whatever, right? Kimiko, right? So, Frenchie is in love with this girl. And throughout the first seasons, like, they have a thing, that they're obviously in a relationship, and at one point they even talk about running away with each other, and like, okay. Now, for no reason whatsoever, Frenchie starts fucking a man. It's kind of like in those, like 2000 TV shows, like 2000 era, where sex just happens for no reason. It's kind of like that, but it completely invalidates all of his, like, romantical build-up with this chick. Like, there's absolutely no reason to believe that Frenchie is gay or bisexual. Like, there's no hint of it through the show, but, like, hey, it's the final season, why not? And it's like this thing where you get to feel, alright, so there's no character arc, there's no actual build-up, there's nothing, it's just like a checkbox. And it's like, did we have gay sex scenes in it? No? Okay, well, put it in. I can give you another example, which is even worse. There's this character called A-Train. So, A-Train appears in the first episode, and he murders the girlfriend of one of the protagonists. His power is super speed, and as he is running around the streets, not caring, he just runs through the girlfriend of the main character, which starts off the event, right? Like, he goes through her, and she splatters blood everywhere. Like, the guy is just hugging her, and all of a sudden, he's got, like, blood and brain on him. And he just doesn't care. Like, A-Train stops, sees what happened, and doesn't care and runs away, right? So, like this creates a very interesting dynamic. Like, all of a sudden, there's drama. It's like, okay, so there are these superheroes that everyone likes and everyone loves, but in reality, they are assholes. They have no accountability whatsoever. They do not care about people. All they care about is their image. And that's what sets off the events in The Boys. Now, of course, as you go through the seasons, they have to talk about Black Lives Matter, right? Because, like, how can you not? I mean, it's a show about superheroes. Everything is political. How can you not address Black Lives Matter? And it's got, like, A-Train has, like, a body from the hood. And this body is obviously, the pillar of the community. Incredibly nice chap. Brilliant fellow. And he gets demolished by another superhero, which is, like, sort of like a cop. But, like, basically, they're trying to go for the Derek Chauvin event and put it in the movie. Sorry, in the show. And then you have A-Train, like, being presented as the aggrieved party here. And he's like, oh, so the government is burying this. And it's like, well, in the first season, you killed someone, A-Train, and they buried for you. Like they literally carried water for you and covered up your crime, right? So it's very hypocritical. But at least, like, when they did it, it was kind of nice, because, like, he actually did get a talking to, and they basically said, it's like, hey, like, you're fine when things go your way, like when we cover up your crimes, you're happy, but when we cover up the crimes of someone that hurt you, you're not happy. So I really did like that, to be honest. But like, that's when they actually did political in a correct way. It's like, alright, well, this character that you actually picked is a genuine asshole. Like, not only did he kill the girlfriend of the main character, but he also laughed about it. Like, he also joked about it like it's nothing. So that was an interesting character arc. But with Frenchie, they don't care about that. With Frenchie, it's like, oh, well, same with the pizza thing. Like they don't try to have any type of nuance anymore. They don't try to have, like, allowing the the viewer to make up his own mind. It's like, it's so fucking blatant. And again, like, the actor himself that plays Homelander is like, yeah, we're making fun of MAGA, basically. And if you're a MAGA person, just don't watch it. Which probably makes sense, right? Because I think, like, this is the last season, so mask off. I guess they don't give a fuck. I really hope Musk tells the fans to fuck off and lets community notes apply to all. It's not about Musk. Like, community notes already apply to all on Twitter. Well, basically, the problem is that YouTube wants to have community notes. And I genuinely do not believe that YouTube will do community notes. I'm willing to change my mind the first time I see a Disney movie or Joe Biden get community noted. Like, if that happens on YouTube, I will be like, okay, you know what, fair's fair. Like, they actually do have community notes. Frenchie should have got with Kimiko. I know, right? I mean, that's literally where all of the seasons we're going towards. This is like another Arya Stark thing where you have Jon Snow and his entire character build-up is to kill the Night King. And it's like his plotline, his quest line, and then Arya just comes out and it's like, wow. What a disappointing conclusion. At least if they killed either Frenchie or Kimiko, it would have made sense, right? Like, he's grieving or some shit. And it would be like, okay, well, that's some character development, I suppose. Like, at least you kind of see where it started, where it ended up, and how it got there. But, like, Starlight got face replaced, but then no one talks about it. Yeah, like, this is a... Okay, I want to talk about this. Because I also seen this, like, I seen a lot of women on Twitter, like saying this bizarre stuff. It's like, look what women do for men, right? And they're basically, like, showing plastic surgery, or they're showing the nose piercing and shit. And it's like, I'm sorry, but, like, I missed the conversation. Like, as a man, I never got invited to the table where women said, hey, we need to make these plastic surgery for you guys. Like, from what I gather, almost everyone that watches the show are not saying that this is great. Now, you know, obviously she can do whatever she wants with her body. You know, like, if she wants to get plastic surgery, that's fine. But, like, overwhelmingly, people are saying, yeah, the way she looked before was much better. Now you can, I suppose, you can do that. Sure, I mean, it's your body if you want, but, like, do you want me to be honest or not? Because that's the second follow-up. It's like, do you want me to be honest, or do you want me to tell you that it's great? Because I can do both. I mean, it's fine, you know. If you want me to tell you that it's great, it's absolutely amazing. Best decision that you've ever made. I generally, like, the thing that I don't get is, like, why do they think that these surgeries even make them look good? I don't get it. It's like, who told her? Like seriously, like, I want to know which person told her that she doesn't look good enough. I mean, she looks so good that she got casted into one of the most famous TV shows of our generation. Like, everyone is going to know about The Boys. And not to mention, like, people around the world know what The Boys is. You can go in Africa and they know it. China knows. Like, yeah, I have a Chinese friend. He watches The Boys. And everyone knows it, right? And she got casted. Like, out of all the women that wanted the job, out of all the women that wanted the role, they were like, you know what? This looks like Starlight. And she's like, no, I'm not good enough. I'm going to get... Like, why? Who told her this? Again, it's her decision, but, like, why? And usually it's other women, isn't it? It's like other women that bring other women down. Like, I'm willing to bet there were some women that were much hotter than the picture on the right, but less hotter than the picture on the left. Like, they were somewhere in between, and they knew they can't compete with this, and they told her, oh, well, you know what? You need the facial surgery. I mean, it is what it is. It's like, I guess. It's kind of weird when you started a TV show, though, because it's like immersion breaking, like, but sure. 100% what other women did. I know. Like my cousin went through the same thing. And I'm like, Jesus, why? So my cousin is married. She lives in the US, and for some reason she thought that her nose is too big. And I'm looking at it, and it's like, it's fine. Like, unironically, it's fine. Like, your nose is fine. She goes all the way to fucking Turkey to get nose surgery. And it's like, you're married. You already have a... Why? And the answer is because probably other women lowered her self-esteem to the point where she thought it's actually a thing that she needs to do. Very painful surgery. Complications can arise. But she did it. And I genuinely don't get it. I don't know. But yeah, it's their body. If you want to do it, do it. It's fine. I mean, plastic surgeons need to make a living too. Yeah, women love to give each other terrible advice. I noticed this. Like, honestly, unironically, this is the case. I don't know if they do it on purpose or not, but like when you're with the guys, and you basically like ask for an advice. Like what most men do is that they're going to give you like the most brutal and effective advice possible. Like most men will tell you, it's like, hey, this is what you need to do. It's painful, but you gotta do it. And if you do it, it's going to be great. Like most men struggle to give you the correct advice. I look at my wife and her friends, or I look at other women, and basically the advice that they give is literally what the woman wants to hear, whether it's good for her or not. It's like you can have a morbidly obese woman with diabetes, with a heart condition, and she can go to one of her friends and ask, it's like, do you think my lifestyle is good? And they'll be like, it's amazing. Don't change it. Just be you. It's like, why are you doing that, though? Why are you saying that? It's so fucking obvious it's not. Like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you telling her to do something that's bad for her? The way women treat other women prove their nature. Like, there are women that treat their men good, though. It's like... plastic surgery is pretty off-putting unless it's boobs. It is true. Like, I did have a lady which had plastic surgery with boobs. Like, my hands were hurting after the massage, but it was so goddamn nice. I don't even like boob augmentation surgery. No, I actually do like boob augmentation surgery. It's kind of cool. My advice, get the xenomorph surgery. Dude, okay, there is a particular face that some anime connoisseurs may know what I'm talking about. It's like the horse face. Now, I don't know if it's the type of horse face that Vosh likes, but I'm pretty sure like everyone goes around the internet and you probably seen the pictures that I'm talking about, where the woman is sucking from a lemonade straw and she's getting like that horse face. I really hate that. I never liked that. It's like one of the worst artistic depictions that I have ever seen. But for some reason it's quite popular and they keep drawing it. And they're like, just stop. No. Human beings don't look like that. And then you realize that with plastic surgery, it can be achieved. And it's like, such a bad face. It's such a bad face. Like, artistically speaking, it's not aesthetic. It's not charming. It's not, no. And yet, Zlixion has no idea what I talk about. Oh my goodness. There's no way I can show you on YouTube, but like, it's kind of like the lips, they pucker, and from the lips to the head becomes like a long straw as the lady applies suction. Right? Is that face. Yeah, it's a very long face. Very, very long face. There's another thing that I don't get as well. Do men actually like big lips? But I'm not talking like big lips as in, natural big lips. Let me see if I can find the picture with what I mean. Okay, I found one. So, unironically, right? Like, do you guys find this charming in any way? I had this lady at university, and she was like drop dead gorgeous. And every guy wanted to be with her. Like, she definitely was up there, like prom queen level. And after I finished university, I get to see her on the street, and she's like this, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'm like, but why though? But why though? Like, who's giving them this false information? Who's giving them the fake news? Like who are the gaslighters? And again, like, why are you doing that? For whom? I mean, it's not for yourself, right? Because you don't get to see your lips. You don't carry a mirror with you all the time, so you're doing it for other people, which begs the question, for whom? Buckle, fat removal, handsome squid face. I don't know what the Squidward. Yeah, no, like, unironically, these cosmetic surgeries, like, they make no sense to me. Like, look, I get tattoos. Like, tattoos can be cool. You know, especially, like, if it's a small tattoo. Like, and by the way, like, usually, tattoos are very heteronormative. Like they are very aware of the gender binary. Like, if you want to get a tattoo, and you want it to be sexy, you got to take care of the gender binary. So, for women, I would recommend tattoos be displayed in an area that's usually covered, like your back, or your hip, or your thigh. You know, somewhere that's like discreet, small, just something cute over there. Like that works. Alright? Don't be a woman and have like a Popeye the Sailor Man anchor on your biceps. Because that, no. I mean, you can do it, but like I'm giving you advice to how to impress Chad. If you want to impress the Chad from your life, if you want to impress that 1% of the men, you know, that earns like $500,000 a year, and he's a Democrat, votes always to the left, and he is like 7 foot tall, and like all of that. Yeah, if you want to impress that guy, yeah, don't get like a Popeye the Sailor Man tattoo on your armpit. Like, no. So yeah, no, like, tattoos can work. Piercings depends. Like, some people like belly piercings. Like, got a little piercing in your belly. That's cute. I personally don't like the ones in the nose, but it is what it is. The tongue one is actually kind of cool. Sell your belongings to support Bobby Morgan. I'll show you a picture with her for this. There was a British actress that all the guys wanted. She had a lip job that turned her into an ogre. See, like, I understand if like, you got an actress and she is just swamped with guys. Like, she just doesn't like the attention. Like, guys are breaking into her DMs constantly. They're always buzzing her phone. Every single time she goes out on the street, there's like 10 or 20 men that are trying to hit on her. And she's like, you know what? Enough. And she gets like a Botox surgery, and all of a sudden, she drops from a 10 to a 5, and all the men leave her alone, and she's like, mission accomplished. Like, if that's why you're getting plastic surgery, I would 100% agree. Like, yes, go do it. Because the thing is, like, again, I would like to talk with one of these ladies and ask them, but why, though? Like, for who are you doing it? Because obviously, like, if you're doing cosmetic surgery, you're presenting yourself to the world, right? Like, you don't carry a mirror with you all the time. So, even, like, when you dress, like, you're not dressing for yourself. Because if you're dressing for yourself, you wouldn't care if you're going out with clothes that are 5 years old. Right? Like if you're dressing for yourself, then the only purpose is to cover yourself from the elements and hide your nudity. That's it. So, no, we are dressing for other people. Like, you do want to present yourself in a presentable manner. Right? So yeah, like, when you do surgery, like, who are you trying to impress, though? And don't give me that, oh, well, no, I'm doing it for myself. No, because you're not wearing makeup when you're at home. Like, when you're at home alone, you're not wearing makeup. I do it for myself is the worst cope ever. Like, you don't pay 20 grand for it. Come on. And by the way, like, one of the things they do is to make other women jelly. This also happens, right? So, like, you got a lady, and she's got, like, other women around her and wants to make them jelly. So, like, she buys more expensive clothing, and then the other women get jelly. Because, like, look, if you do it for yourself, I can debunk the I do it for myself argument very easily. If they do it for themselves, why do they get upset when another girl shows up in the same dress? I mean, if you just dress for yourself, why do you care if another person who also dresses for themselves wears the exact same dress as you? Especially when the other girl has, like, bigger tits or a nice ass, that's when they get really angry. When they make the dress, you know, like, flow better. I would like to see a tattoo of a helicopter. The thing with tattoos, though, you need to avoid as often as possible in placing them in areas where you can get fat, right? So, tattoos around the belly area, tattoos around Anything that has fat, really, because what happens is like when you go fat and when you lose weight, the tattoo deforms. So as time moves on, your tattoo is going to look like shit. For attention, V, that is the women's drug. Ooh. I agree, V. Your stream scare is incredibly cringe. Oh, they have to be. They have to be, because otherwise Asmongold will start stream sniping my channel as well. Like, dude, I'm trying to keep a low profile. I definitely am trying to, like, fly under the radar. I did my best. I deleted streams. I started streaming at bizarre hours. Like, I generally don't want the attention. I don't want to get famous. And Asmongold keeps replying to my secondary channel. It's like, God, stop it. Leave me alone. Unironically, though, like, the bigger attention you get, the more drama you receive. I don't like drama. So nice, you know, just go on, you do your videos, you go to bed. It's great. When you get drama, you get, like, people going on Twitter again. Oh my god, look what he said. Shut the fuck up. Almost all women's behavior. Yeah, Asmongold is stalking me. It's not just me. He's stalking Arch Warhammer as well. So I saw his video on the Arch Warhammer thing. Why are you faking news, V? The boys getting another season? Are they? I thought this is the last one. Holy shit! They're actually getting another season? I didn't know. No, I'm sorry. I didn't want to fake news. It is what it is. V, love the stream. Do a collab with Hugh Jadis. I don't know who Hugh Jadis is. And thank you, Jordan, for the super chat. I gotta brag to Pippa. Man, I don't even know what Pippa is doing anymore. I haven't spoken with her. I think it's like in more than a year now. She's popular. I should talk to her once I finish my video game. Maybe she'll promote it. Maybe she'll say nice things about it. Asmongold, no shame. Yeah, cockroaches. Good God. Yeah, Asmongold stream snipe me. Like, I think he got through 4 videos yet. A little bit more and I'm going to start saying gamer words. I remember that, like, he actually did want, at one point, to show one of my videos, and I started using a little bit of disparaging language towards Blizzard's HR lady, and Asmongold was like, nope, nope, nope. Pippa is busy, everyone trying to talk to her. If I want to talk to her, I'll talk to her. Like, there are ways, but I'd only do it if it's, like, absolutely necessary. Like, I want to set up a stream or something. Like if someone was like, hey V, can you talk to Pippa to set up a stream? I'd be like, yeah, sure. I got connections. Let me ask the Kirsche. I'll ask the Kirsche and the Kirsche will do it. So like there are ways to talk to Pippa. But no, I don't need to talk to her, so that's my cope. In the comics, Homelander is black noir. I wonder why they didn't make Homelander gay. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised. At this point, like, why not? Why wouldn't they make Homelander gay? It's like, well, probably not because he's a bad character, right? So, like, from the lens of intersectionality, he can't be bad. Like here's another thing that they did. They showed this in the trailer. The smartest person on Earth in the boys' universe is a black woman. Right? So, like, this black lady is the smartest person on Earth. Like, she is incredibly smart. That's her superpower. And Homelander wants to take her up on the 7 and wants to use her ability of super smart in order to take over the White House. And I'm thinking, okay, so this woman is going to betray Homelander. This is what's going to happen. It's like, how do I know? Well, it's obviously a woke movie. And through the lens of intersectionality, they would never make a black woman the villain. They just can't, right? So unless she gets hit with a ray from another superhero power to turn her white, especially like as an added bonus, if she gets turned into a white man, then sure. But like at this point, I guarantee to you, there is no way that this character is going to be a villain. Like she's either going to be misunderstood, or she's doing the villainy for a noble purpose. But I'm willing to bet that she is going to betray Homelander. By the end of the season, she's going to do something. She's going to ally with the good guys, and she's going to betray Homelander. Again, smartest woman on Earth. She's black. Intersectionality lens. She can't be evil. Like she's not going to be a villain. I would not ironically be surprised if it happens that she's actually the villain. I would be like, whoa, really? They did that? Holy shit. Comic fans will know that Mike Hawk is the best. I actually didn't like the comics. So, like, the reason I didn't like the comics was that in The Boys Season 1, it felt as if the good guys, they're just human. So they're just human and they're fighting against superheroes, and that was fucking cool. Right? Because the scales are so tipped against them. In the comics, they just take, like, this pill, and they're humans, but they gain superpowers. And it's like, well, at that point, just make them heroes. At least they did that in the show as well in the last seasons, and yeah, like they get superpowers by taking this compound V stuff, but like it's has such dangerous side effects that they can't take it for long. So it's like, okay, well that makes sense. But yeah, no, unironically, this season is literally just remember MAGA. Yeah, I really didn't like the message in the past seasons, but it was somewhat ambiguous. I skipped several scenes of this season and stopped after episode 2. Did you get to the Pizzagate thing? Because like they did that. I said it in the beginning. Like they have this guy going into a pizza place and asking to see the basement if there are kids in there. And when he's told that no, they don't have a basement, he pulls out a gun. Like that is actually in The Boys, the last season. That's in the TV show. And I'm like, wow, a little bit on the nose, don't you think? Oh, they're very subtle there. Very subtle. They did make the show better than the comics, yeah. No, the comics are bad, man. I'm sorry to say this. The comics are bad. It's one of the few times when I can definitely say that the source material is actually worse than the TV show. Of course, the last season hasn't finished airing, so I can still change my mind. There's always the possibility that that they end up making this season so bad it's actually worse than Game of Thrones season 10. So, turns out that Adobe is being sued by the government for hidden cancellation fees and hard-to-cancel subscriptions. Adobe charged a hefty fee for everyone who canceled their Creative Cloud subscription. So basically what Adobe did, like, this is the most astonishing thing ever. Like, for those of you who remember, Adobe used to be this normal program that would just install on your computer, right? So, you didn't need an online only, you didn't need a subscription or anything like that. You just got Adobe, you put it on computer, and that's it. There you go. However, they realized, why do that? Like, why not just force people to pay a monthly subscription? Which, like, most companies do anyway by offering newer versions, right? So, like, for instance, if you use, like, Norton Antivirus, well, every year there's a new one, and you gotta upgrade if you want to stay up to date. But video editor softwares, right? Like, I use Camtasia. And every single year, there's a new Camtasia. It offers a little bit more features than the previous one. It's got, like, more compatibility. There's reason for you to upgrade. So, like, they're trying to get people to upgrade. And they usually have, like, this offer where they will say, hey, if you already bought Camtasia, which is very expensive, it's like $250 or some shit. If you already bought it, you can just pay $50 and you can upgrade, right? So, like, they have the yearly subscription by using this tactic, which, to be honest, I kind of guess, because, like, you get the new product if you want it. If you don't want it, you don't upgrade, so it's fair. No, Adobe is like, no, you want to use Adobe? You gotta pay. You gotta pay monthly subscription. So, they have this online-only bullshit, and now they're basically saying, we want to know everything that you do in Adobe. and allegedly it's to search for illicit material, right? I also think like illicit material doesn't just refer to like CCAM, but it's also if you want to print money or something like that, right? Like if you try to print a dollar bill, like the moment you put it in Adobe, like it gets flagged and shit. So like, okay, I get that, fine. Well, actually, no, it's not really fine because I don't do any of that, and you're still looking on my PC. But okay, but then they also say, think about like if you have a person that's under an NDA, like they work for Disney or they work for a AAA company or they work for Blizzard, like Adobe gets to see what's on their computer. So like if I commission someone to work on my video game and they're under an NDA, like Adobe actually gets to see. The answer is yes. And when I say fine, like I get the argument. However, privacy is still a thing. Like unless you have a court order, unless you have like some reasonable suspicion, I don't think you need to check on what's people's computers. Like it's not okay. But anyway, they weren't happy with just that, right? Because what they want to do is to harvest data and train AI. Like if you're an artist and you work in Adobe, right? They will use the guise of, yeah, we want to see if you're doing illegal stuff. Like you're not doing any illegal stuff. Let us look. And as they're looking, they're harvesting data and they're training their AI. So like a lot of artists, especially independent artists, are really upset with AI because it's killing their business. Like we're talking about random people that are, drawing for various fandoms and they're just like getting commissions here and there. Like they don't like the fact that the AI exists, right? So to add insult to injury, yeah, you do have an AI, but it's also trained on your work. Like I think like that would be. Well, actually, it is happening in America in a lot of places, right? Like, there are people that are trading their replacements. Like, there are companies that are hiring from overseas, and they usually keep, like, a couple of people around just so that they can train the people that they hired to pay for minimum wage. Anyway. So they're not happy just with that. Like, they're not happy just for, like, making sure that they know everything you put in Adobe in the cloud. They're not happy with just, like, training your AI and harvesting data. Now, according to their new TOS, they also own the stuff you do. So if you do something in Adobe, according to their TOS, they own it. So if they want to make, like, a commercial, if they want to use their AI in order to reproduce your shit, they can. And again, like, think about the people that work under NDA for big studios. Like, you have people that work for Warcraft, and they're making, like, a new Night Elf and shit. Well, Adobe now has license to that, too. It's fucking insane. So many people were like, no, fuck this shit. Like, this is way, way more than I bargained for. And they decided to stop their subscription. What does Adobe do? They make it very difficult for people to do that. So they harass you with customer support. It's like, are you sure? But are you really, really sure? Can we see an ID that it's really you unsubscribing? I don't know if they did that, but I know that Blizzard used to have that tactic. Adobe CEO Lou Sassel is a real jerk. Thank you for the $2, Nightmare. I do not know the man, but if you say so. This Adobe crap is going to get crushed in court. Like, probably. They definitely will get crushed in the European Union. Like, 100%. Jordan L. all would prefer Connie Lingos at Adobe over this. No, but like, the thing is, like, we need to look on your computer to see if you have CP. Like, what type of person that's a criminal would use Adobe for that? I mean, if there are, I hope they get arrested. But, like, is this how they actually catch them? Like, because I'm thinking, like, from the perspective of a criminal. I went to law school, right? Like, you gotta think how a criminal thinks. And criminals don't want to get caught. So if Adobe genuinely wants to catch them, like, why would it make it public? Why would they make this public announcement to the entire world and say, yeah, if you use our software, we're tracking for that? And it's like, okay, but like, if you were actually going to catch people, the moment you announced it, they're going to stop using it. Doesn't that fucking make sense? So like, who exactly are you targeting? Oh, you're targeting artists so you can harvest their drawings and their pictures so that you can train your AI with it. That's why you're doing it. Just because they lose in court doesn't mean they will stop. I mean, it's true. Like to be fair, like, Adobe does have the potential of making one of the most powerful AIs ever because, like, so many artists use their work. Like, for instance, I know that at Blizzard a lot of people use Adobe. So if you ask it to draw night elves, it will probably draw like the most perfect night elves ever. So like, if you're part of this community and you want an AI to draw you like, I don't know, fuck, My Little Pony or whatever, like it will be able to draw it as accurately as possible, better than any other AIs. Yeah, literally everything is spying on you these days. No, like that. There was this study which I didn't try to reproduce, but maybe I should out of the rules. Like there were some people which bought new phones, so like completely new phone, just out of the factory. They created a new account on the phone, no information whatsoever. And what they did is like they sat at a table all day and they talked about cars, right? With the photo on the table, they didn't touch it. They just like created an account, you know, like the whole Apple thing, and then just placed the phone in an idle state on the table, and they talked about cars. Guess what commercials they got the next day? About cars. And then there's like this guy, and oh, actually this happened to me as well, right? Wife gets pregnant, and all of a sudden I'm getting like all these diaper commercials. And I never Googled for diapers, I never Googled for anything, right? But like all of a sudden I'm getting diaper commercials. And it was like after, like literally like after 7 months of my wife getting pregnant. It's like, wow, interesting. They track how you drive through your phone? Oof. Yeah, I never looked for that. It's like, why would I need to look for diaper commercials? Like, I go to the supermarket and I just bought a pack. Because when she goes to the hospital, she will need them. So, like, if it happens earlier, it's good to be prepared. And I just went to the supermarket, got a pack. I didn't need to see any commercials or to get diapers. But still, and then I was like inundated with them. It was like everywhere, like baby stuff, like baby toys and baby commercials. And it's like, dude, like, leave me alone. Show me the video games. Leave the phone at home when you go outside. It's not that hard. Well, the thing is like this, right? You can protect yourself just fine. Like if you want companies not to spy on you, there are so many ways to do it. Like it's achievable. But they're not interested in the average Joe protecting himself. They're interested in masses, in groups of people, in percentages. So it's like out of 1,000 people, like how many are complying with what we need? And the answer is like significantly high, probably more than 90%. Would have been creepier if you got these commercials before your wife told you she's pregnant. Oh my fucking lord. You know, like imagine when my son grows up and he's a teenager. And, you know, he's fooling around with various women. And all of a sudden, like, he's getting all these baby commercials. And I'll be like, son, what did you do? What did you do? You don't have a job yet. How are you? Oh, I am the one that will have... Oh, I see. See, when I was a teenager, like, the most frightening thing was the phone call. I don't know how many guys got the phone call, but it's like, your girlfriend calls you, and she's like, so, yeah, I didn't have a period. Like, it was supposed to come this week, and it didn't come. And when she tells you that, you get to see your entire life flashing before your eyes. You know, you get to relive your earliest childhood memories all the way to the present. And I wonder if it's going to be like that with the commercials. Like, instead of the phone call, you're just going to see, like, the baby diaper commercials. The phone is always tracking you. The government does not need to put that chip on you. It's not only that, but, like, they're making these toys. Little robots. So you have like this little robot toy and it walks on the desk and it stops exactly before falling down and it's got a camera in order to see around, and I'm like, great. Now people have a spyware in their house with a camera. What can go wrong? And not only that, but it also gets like updates and online stuff. I'm willing to bet someone is going to drop a gamer word next to that little toy. And then you realize that your smart house is on lockdown, like TOS violation. You can't drive your car anymore. Subscription closed. Good rule of thumb, don't have sex with anyone you are not willing to have kids with. This is an Anglospheric rule, right? It's not from Asia, it's not from China, it's not from Russia. This is something that the Anglosphere came up with. So let me ask you this, right? I got my first job when I was like 30 years old. So until I was 30, I wasn't able to take care of myself, let alone children. So I was supposed to not have sex before the age of 30? Do you find that reasonable, though? Do you find... Well, it's not that you find that reasonable. Do you find that feasible? Is it workable? Can I work with it? No. Okay. Then it's bad advice. The correct advice is what Xander1097 said. Use condoms. You can protect yourself, but it doesn't stop you from being exposed by everyone else. Apple's contact tracing is it all? Yeah, literally, like everyone with the smartphone is also a potential tracker. So even if you protect yourself, there's still other people around you. I mean, I didn't have sex for over 30 years. Well, if Nightmare didn't have sex for over 30 years, I mean, congratulations, Nightmare. All of us can do it. You would have been able to man up and get work. Well, luckily enough, not only am I married now with my soulmate, but I also have kids, and I have a really great job. So I'm so glad I didn't take your advice, Emerald Wolf. Where would I have ended up if I would have taken your advice? And the question is, if my life was worse off, would you have been willing to help me? Given the fact that your advice has caused my life to actually be worse. No, I really disagree. Like a lot of American ideology is great. I like the conservative part and the Constitution and stuff, but like, my fucking god, like the American puritanical mentality, ugh. That doesn't resonate in Europe. Like, let me tell you the difference between Europe and America, right? In America, you have Bill Clinton getting a blowjob, and everyone is freaking out. Everyone's in the news. Everyone's like, oh my goodness gracious, look at the horror. Meanwhile, in France, besides Macron, every single president has had a mistress. And the media knows about it. Like every single president in France before Macron, you can look it up, not only were they married, but they were also fucking someone else on the side. No one gives a shit. No one cares. No one, like, literally, no one cares. The Romanian president, Traian Băsescu, was banging his mistress on the presidential table. Like, everyone knows this. The press was talking about it. No one cares. But if you do it in America, the immorality, the degeneracy. And it's kind of funny because, like, with that mentality, now you have La Cocaína in the White House. Now you have, like, some person flashing his tits, or her tits, or what are they, them tits, in front of the White House. Apparently now they're in the news again because they were accused of some sexual abuse. 7 counts, I think. So we got like La Cocaína in the White House. We got like the boot sex in the Senate. We got the flashing of the booba. Like all of this shit. Man, even Europe, that like we're so degenerate and we're so... Like even we don't... Well, actually, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't talk. Because like we did have like the Spanish senator caught eating the caca in the news. So like that actually did happen. I shouldn't talk too soon. And I think like there was another German politician that was also licking toilets. No, I'm not kidding. Like it was in the newspapers. I was like, what the why though? But why? But like other than that, you know, like despite the fact that we're not as puritanical and we're not as crusading and we're not as you know, anti everything that's sexy. Oh, the male gaze. We do not have La Cocaína in the White House. How do we manage? And we do not have the boot sex in the Senate either. It's Anglosphere insanity. Just use that condom. Unironically. Man, like, the level of AIDS in Romania dropped significantly after communism. Like, we actually did have an uptick in AIDS. And we managed to drop it without Dr. Fauci. Base Brazil was best Romanian president. Berlusconi was absolutely crashing. Yeah, a lot of politicians in Europe are very promiscuous when it comes, and people just don't fucking care. It's like, okay, but tell me about his policies. It's like, oh great, he had the mistress. Oh, that's horrible. I'm glad I'm not his wife. Now tell me about his policies. Like, what are his economic policies? Well, how is he going to screw or unfuck the economy? Like, tell me about that. Actually, in America, it depends on what party you are from. If you're a Democrat, you can sleep with whomever you want. If you're a Republican, it's a crime against humanity. Yeah, to be fair, I'm talking about the days of America before Donald Trump. So, yeah, like if you're a Democrat, like Bill Clinton did get in a pickle with that scandal. Kind of funny though. Like Bill Clinton actually did good for America's economy. I think he balanced the books, didn't he? So it was possible, but he got into the scandal. A bad moment to be patriotic. I guess, you know, like if you're at, there are state levels in the US that aren't that crazy. Oh yeah, you have the president popping up in the newspapers regarding showering. Why do I want to know how the American president showers and with whom? Well, now I know. To be fair, like this with the showering with the daughter, like in Europe I know it's going to be shocking, but it wasn't that uncommon, and this is due to the fact that under communism, hot water was only available for a very limited amount of time. So you know, if people had kids, sometimes they did shower with their kids. But it was usually like the father would shower with the son and the mother would shower with the daughter. And it would also be up until the age of like 3 or 4. Like even after that it became weird. So when I found out like how old she was, I was like, okay, well that is definitely creepy. That is definitely not okay. I think you misunderstand. I'm not saying don't do it before you can afford kids or wrap your stuff, but no sex make babies. So make sure it is with a woman you are not willing to also have kids with. No, I get that, but like, the thing here in Europe, the mentality is that you always need to use a condom under any circumstance, no excuse, right? So like, if you don't want to have kids, always use a condom. And if the condom breaks, there is the morning after pill. And then, like, okay, so if you use the condom, you use the morning after pill, and she still got pregnant, well, then you're fucked. You know, like, God just wanted you to have kids. There's no other explanation. It's not uncommon to bathe with your daughter when she's, like, 5 and younger. Yeah, but, like, I think it's gender specific, right? Like, I don't know how people do it in America, but the father would shower with the son. And not necessarily like shower, but like bathe, you know, like help teach the kid how to wash. Because like you gotta teach him like how the foam works and shit. And the mother would be the one showering with the daughter. Like the only exception, I guess, is if it's a single parent, right? So like they don't have other parents. Like it is very weird, especially like if the kid is of an elderly age, right? It's like I mean, if they're already past puberty and they're still showering with their family, it's like, no. Jesus. Yeah, no, it's not really like the only reason to bathe with your kids is to make sure they're not going to drown. There's many reasons than that. Like, obviously you want to see if they have any skin diseases, rashes, you know, like something else happened. I mean, if the kid is small, he may not know, like, oh, you got this thing, looks like fucking skin cancer on your shoulder, you know, like, okay. It's also to make sure that they don't drown, obviously, but also to make sure that they're actually bathing and not just playing around. But like, it's only for a very small age, right? It's like after that, you don't, no, Biden, no, When kids are very young, even in the US, they shower with the parents. Yeah, no, like here in Romania, I don't know what they did in the US, but again, like here in Romania, we had like very limited amount of warm water. I think it was like 1 or 2 hours a day. And most families did live together. So, like, if you had, the grandparents, and you had the parents, and you had the children, that's up to 5, 6 people in one household. And if you had, like, only one shower, I mean, what can you do? Either that or you don't wash. So, it wasn't that uncommon. But also up to a certain age. Like, even after a certain age, it was like the mother would shower with the father, usually. And the kid would still shower alone. Like, it's uncomfortable for the kid. Like, the kid doesn't want it. It's weird. Biden has no excuses. He was very rich at the time and had plenty of maids and helpers employed. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. Never shower with your grandpa. Yeah, no one did that. Well, unless the grandparents are raising the kid, right? And the kid is like, I don't know, 1 year old, and you don't want them to risk drowning. Like, yeah, that's different. But like, at the age of, no. Anyway, let's talk about something else. Like, this is just, yeah, it was bizarre when I saw it in the news. I was like, what the fuck? And why aren't people treating it a little bit more seriously? No. There was another thing, like, there's a video of Biden zooming out, and now the White House is saying that the video is deep fake. And I'm like, I don't think it is. I think it was on mainstream television. So, left-wing influencer says that the following video does not show Biden freezing up, and that it's a total lie. It's a right-wing propaganda. I'm not going to show it on YouTube because I don't want to risk having like the video, the stream taken down or flagged. But it does seem to be at an official event. Like, what fucking deepfake are you talking about? Like I would understand the deepfake where it's like him doing a TikTok video, but like this is a verified thing. Oh, the New York Post reported on it. So like, is this fake? Like, how can you deepfake something like this? Again, the New York Post reported, and yeah, I mean, but like, surely people won't believe something like that. I mean, it's Joe Biden. It's the president with aviator glasses and stuff. Like, he's fine. There's no way that he can zoom out. Romania shattered Ukraine today. Oh, in football, 3-0. I actually don't watch football, to be honest. The thing with Ukraine, though, like, one of the most cringe thing was Eurovision, where, like, everyone was like, well, Ukraine has to win. And I'm like, well, if I was Ukraine, I would feel a little bit bad. It's like, I want to win on my own merit, not a pity victory. It's like, oh, yeah, but, like, there's a war, and it will moralize the soul. I don't think it works that way. Like, if I'm fighting on the front lines for my life, and my brother's in arms, I don't think, like, the victory in Eurovision would make me fight better. Or make me feel any different, Like, that's not... Like, a good morale for the soldier is to tell them that, I don't know, you recaptured the lost city, you encircled some Russian battalion, you scored a major victory on the front line, your country managed to take down, like, 40 tanks, or maybe you get, like, reinforcements of 1,000 tanks from the Americas. Like that's stuff that moralizes people, right? But like, oh, you won Eurovision. Oh, great. Rogue Runa, thank you for the first ever super chat. Or is it the 20th? What's with the 20 number? Ukraine has time for boxing for football? No, that's actually normal. Like, countries that go to war, most people don't realize this, but like, life doesn't just stop. Like, people do not fall into despair just because your country is fighting on the front lines. Like, during World War II, America also did football and boxing and everything else. Like, life goes on. No, it's normal. However, Just because life goes on doesn't mean that you gotta win all of the international competitions that have nothing to do with the combat situation. Winning in football is always good for morale. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, again, I'm thinking about this, right? Like, you're in the trenches, you're fighting, and you're fighting for your dear life, and then you find out, oh, did you know that they won at football? And you're like, okay, I'm going to fight better now. The Russians are coming. I'm not going to retreat because we actually won at football. Right? Like, is that how it works? Anyway, I should go and make my videos for my secondary channel and take a shower. Now I want to take a shower. Alone, though. Absolutely, positively alone. And I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.